National parks are some of the most beautiful places one can visit, but at the same time they're also full of hidden crevices, loose boulders, harsh weather conditions and predators. This means that every year people sometimes vanish into thin air never to be seen again. Yellowstone National Park is one place where people have been reported missing. However, what many aren't aware of is that many of these disappearances aren't covered by the news, so the vast majority of people don't know that these individuals are missing. One such example of this is the disappearance of Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell decided to go hiking at Yellowstone National Park, but he never returned. It was on the 6th of April 1991 when Dan's friend dropped him and his dog off at the Hell-Roaring Creek trailhead. The 47-year-old was intending to collect antlers on his hike to Jardine, Montana. However, he never reached his final destination. His girlfriend called local authorities, reporting that Dan was overdue from his hike. A large-scale search commenced 3 days after his disappearance, yet no one found any sign of him. The National Park Service, the US Forest Service and the FBI were all involved in the unsuccessful ground and aerial investigation. However, Dan's two brothers publicly stated that they were not satisfied with the search. They believed that their brother may have suffered a more sinister fate. They felt it was suspicious no one had found any remains of Dan or his dog. They suspected their brother may have been murdered by some dubious people he dealt with in the illegal antler trade. Rob Campbell publicly stated he believed his brother had been buried in the park. Dan allegedly collected antlers to pay his bills and funded a move to White Sulphur Springs. Authorities have speculated that he may have purposely disappeared to avoid his dismal financial situation, yet Dan's family insist he's not the type to deliberately vanish. In the months following his disappearance, his brothers urged authorities to conduct lie detector tests on Dan's acquaintances. However, this request was denied by investigators. 9 years later, in 2000, his family filed a lawsuit against Park County Sheriff Charles Johnson, claiming he botched the investigation. They were not happy with the sheriff treating the case solely as a disappearance, rather than a murder. After employing a private investigator, they acquired evidence stating that there was 14 other antler hunters in the area during their time. One of them even stated they heard 2 shots. Most of this evidence has since been disposed of or lost. During the original search, firearms and ammunition were seized from some of the antler hunters in the area. However, these items were returned to their owners without fingerprinting or investigation. No further clues of Dan's whereabouts eventuated from these leads. While he was an experienced outdoorsman, park officials believed that Yellowstone's rough terrain could be challenging for even the best hikers. Its dense foliage and uneven ground could easily conceal a person, making it difficult for searchers to find any signs of life. Even after their large-scale effort, authorities stated they had no clue about Dan's whereabouts. While it may be unclear what happened to Dan, heavy snowstorms and high winds hit the air in the days following his disappearance, slimming the chances of finding him alive. Dan Campbell's disappearance continues to be a mystery for authorities. Campbell was last seen in Sweetgrass County, Montana on April 6, 1991. He lived in Big Timber, Montana, and his friends dropped him off with his dog at Hell-Roaring Creek trailhead in Yellowstone National Park. Campbell was apparently planning to hike through Jardine, Montana, but he never arrived in Jardine and has never been heard from again. The search began on April 9th, but turned up no indication of Campbell or his dog's whereabouts. Few details are available in his case, but it's likely he got lost or injured and passed away somewhere in Yellowstone's backcountry. Retired park rangers have also detailed some of the strange things that they've encountered while working, with one individual going on to say the following: "I worked for the National Park Service for over 25 years. and during this time I encountered many strange things, along with hearing a bunch of bizarre stories that never got answered. Some of the strangest disappearances involve those that seem to vanish into thin air, leaving no tracks, no hiking gear, no signs that they was even there in the first place. We've had stories come in from people who've said that they've somehow moved thousands of meters in a matter of seconds, with some saying that they blacked out and woke up somewhere entirely different, again saying that there were no signs around them that could have explained how this happened. Although these are brushed aside by the National Park Service, they still happened, and sometimes it messes with your head because it's asked along with the individual who's left asking questions. They get brushed aside because they don't sound realistic, but people are experiencing strange things in national parks. I think at this point it's important to note that many disappearances do come down to people not respecting these locations and not coming equipped with the right gear. There are many things in these national parks that can make a trip go sideways, but there's also some disappearances that never get answers. Something that hardly gets mentioned is that of animals that were distorted by troubled individuals. This happened on a number of occasions, to not only myself but also my co-workers. Although it's obvious that these were done by people, they always seem to get away with it." End quote. Disappearances of people in national parks have gained notoriety ever since the Missing 411 was published. If there's one certainty, it is that at least one person a year will go missing at any of the 419 national parks, although the actual annual number is estimated to be over 1,000 missing people. There's a plethora of things that can go wrong when visiting the vast wilderness. The cruelty of nature is no joke, and many people find themselves on the losing side of a battle against survival. Many cases can merely be speculated upon, and although some of these cases do eventually get solved, there's many that will remain a mystery. Though the IBS, or Investigative Services branch of the law enforcement, generally try to solve cases as efficiently and quickly as possible, this sadly is not always the case, and most often than not cases tend to grow cold for months or years afterwards. So what do you make of these stories, and what do you make of those that seem to vanish into thin air? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.